All right, y'all. So let's talk about this bar fight real quick. So the Sheamus and Jeff Hardy storyline has been very, very polarizing. A lot of the intelligentsia of the wrestling journalism hates it. Some just hate WWE in general, but most of them just it makes them feel queasy in their little bellies that somebody is an alcoholic in real life and is an alcoholic on TV. And these are the same people who say, you're insulting my intelligence for not talking about the virus and not talking about other companies. So you already know they full of shit, right? But let's talk about this match. So this is the third match in the series. Their first match was the Intercontinental Championship tournament, which Jeff Hardy won. The second match was the match at Backlash, which Sheamus won. And this is the bar fight. This is Jeff Hardy versus Sheamus, the third match. And so it was cinematic. It was bumped from Extreme Rules. It was supposed to be on Extreme Rules, apparently, but it got bumped. So now it was just the main event of SmackDown. And that was good. That was fine. It was a good capper on a really good episode of SmackDown. Well, a better than usual episode of SmackDown, I should say. So, the first thing we get is the bartender is there. It's a bar. It's inside of a bar. Now, did they retool the performance center to look like a bar? Was it a real bar? I don't really think that matters. But it had all the atmosphere of a bar. It had a jukebox. It had not a jukebox, like a band area. There was an actual bar with the liquor, and there was one bartender, one referee. That's all you really needed. You didn't need a lot. It has a couple of games over in the corner and stuff like that. So Sheamus strolls in looking like Daniel Day-Lewis from Gangs of New York. If you've never seen Gangs of New York, you need to go watch it. It's a good movie. It's a little long, but it's a good movie. So Jeff comes in, and Sheamus offers him a drink. They do a little talking, and I really wasn't a fan of that, but I understand they have to set the stage. And they go through, Jeff. Basically, Sheamus is the voice and this is what a lot of people don't seem to understand. Sheamus embodies the voice of a lot of wrestling fans since the TNA days, when people were basically saying they were giving up on Jeff. That Jeff's just a junkie. He's never going to be anywhere. He's never going to change. SmackDown is this week, the week of July 24th episode of SmackDown. They did a really good job of putting what the internet gives them into the mouth of a character. In other words, just to step off the bar fight a little bit, Lacey Evans, when she says that, Naomi been in WWE for 10 years and she got nothing to show for it. Miz and Morrison kind of making fun of Naomi, saying like, if I can trend, then I'll get I'll get a push too, like a wink and a nudge at that. Kofi Kingston, when he basically said that, it's Big E's turn to go solo, which is something that, a lot of people on the internet have been saying. They've been doing that, with putting that stuff I've been saying on the internet, sometimes for a long time, and putting it in the mouth of a performer and letting that performer sort of embody the attitude of, and it's mostly heels, right? So mostly you have a lot of people online who don't like Naomi. They'll say, well, what did she ever do? She's never done anything. So, she's not that good. She's not that great, whatever. They put that in the mouth of the heel so that she can respond in a natural way or in a way that she would normally respond. Same thing with Big E and Kofi Kingston. People saying like, well, New Day doesn't have to break up for Big E to go solo. So, such and such, And Sheamus does that for Jeff Hardy, where all of the people who have been writing all of these articles about how they need to give up on Jeff and Jeff is a junkie and all that type of stuff. That's all Sheamus has been doing. Sheamus don't really mean this shit. Come on. So that people have just been taking what the universe gives them, and in some cases the WWE universe, and putting it in the mouth of a character and then letting the hero fight that, and that's kind of what Jeff has been doing. So to that end, after he called Jeff a junkie and all that type of stuff, Jeff asked Sheamus, is he still the bar? Which is, of course, a double meaning. It's meaning one, goes back to the tag team with Cesaro, that, I am the bar. We are the bar, But it's also the meaning of Jeff needing to overcome his alcoholism, and alcohol is served in bars. So then Jeff says, I am this bar, man. I'm connected to everything. This is sort of his creative side, his desire to be free of his addictions and free of to be connected to the world in a real way. And like I said before, I've said this before, that maybe people don't understand it, but there's archetypes. There's four masculine archetypes: the king, the lover, the magician, and the warrior. And the lover is what a Jeff Hardy is. That's what, somebody who feels connected to the world around them, the deep connection with the fans, the deep connection with the business, with being creative, all these sort of things. That's Jeff Hardy. So he says, man, he says to Sheamus, I'm connected to this bar. I'm connected to this TV. I'm connected to, the window. I'm everything. I am this bar. So he's basically saying, like, in a way, there is no way to escape me. I'm everywhere. I'm part of this. This is part of who I am as well. So you are the bar. I'm also the bar. But you're a different kind of bar. You're the alcohol part of the bar. I am the physical manifestation of the bar, or some shit. Maybe the metaphysical concept of the bar. So they get into, Sheamus, of course, confused, like anybody would be if Jeff is talking about he is the bar. And they start fighting. So the fight is basically just Sheamus being dominant. Sheamus is a big, strong dude who did big, strong dude stuff. He just beat the shit out of Jeff all through this place, throwing him around. Jeff, would fire up every now and again. He hit. They wound up in the hallway. They fought to the bathroom where Sheamus put Jeff's face in a urinal. A lot of people have just decided to screenshot that and post it everywhere and all that type of stuff, because that's kind of what people do, But the story of the bar is that basically Sheamus, of course, is the embodiment of Jeff's addictions. So of course Sheamus is going to be winning. Sheamus is, of course, dominating Jeff at certain parts of this match. He's just beating the shit out of Jeff. And there comes a point in time where Sheamus kicks Jeff in the face. I think it was a brogue kick. And Jeff is down. And Sheamus takes his hat and puts it over Jeff's face. Then he goes and takes a drink. While he's behind the bar taking a drink, Jeff is on the ground sort of shaking a little bit. He's supposed to be unconscious, but, the hat is over his face. So after Sheamus takes his drink, he comes over and he tells the ref, get ready to count, because the referee has to count to 3. And the bartender interfered in this match too, but it's not relevant to the story. It was just, the guy kind of getting revenge on Jeff for beating him up a couple of weeks ago. And then you had, when Sheamus removed the hat from Jeff's face was painted. And it was a nod of Willow. It was a little bit of a nod to Willow, which was the character that Jeff played in TNA. And but it also meant resurrection. That this is sort of a new Jeff Hardy. That he is not going to be beaten by his addictions. So Jeff rises up, beats up Sheamus, swanton from the top of a ladder onto the floor, 3 count. Jeff Hardy wins. So it was a great story. I've been enjoying the storyline. I'm glad that, it seemed that Jeff really wanted to do this. And, even though there's a lot of people who, Jeff Hardy shouldn't be doing this story. It's so offensive. And, Matt and Shane Helms and all these people who are really down on the story, it seemed like Jeff was really energized by it. Because Sheamus is the embodiment of his addictions. He really needs to win this match in order to prove, not just to himself, but to everyone else, he's not the same kid that he has been before. And that has been really, really important in the storyline of Jeff Hardy. And in his return, he has been continuously saying, I am not that kid anymore. I am something more. I am something better now. I'm not going back. And there's a lot of people who may not believe it, and that's probably why I don't like the story. Some people just don't like Sheamus, because Sheamus is a WWE guy, and that's reason enough. But when you understand the story on a deep level, in some ways on a psychological level, the only thing that really kind of threw me for a loop is the whole, when Jeff says, I am this bar man, I'm not really sure what he meant. I was sitting here, as I talk about it, the best way I can think of it is that he feels this connection, this metaphysical connection to the bar, you know, and in a certain way that's different from what Sheamus is talking about. But I liked it. The storyline made sense. The matches were decent. You know, matches were pretty good. The bar fight was as a cinematic match. It was okay. It wasn't. I didn't like the magic ending. You know, I don't really like the whole interjection of magic in it. I think if Jeff would have just powered out, maybe kicked out of the bro kick and just fought back with like all the fire in his guts and just boom, 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 bump Sheamus, maybe hit him with another twist of fate, and then and just won the match straight up, it probably would have made more sense than Jeff laying on the ground for 2 or 3 minutes while Sheamus had a drink, and then he powers out under new paint. But ultimately, I think it served its purpose. I think it really hit the nail on the head, and I think that this feud is over, and it's good for both of them because Sheamus needs to move on and Jeff needs to move on. Where do they go from here? I have no idea, but I enjoyed it. And tell me what you think down below. Like this video, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.